What is something free from the internet everyone should take advantage of? Goodrx. If you haven't seen the depressing commercials, this is an app that gives you discounts on prescription medications. My dog has epilepsy and I save about $200 a month on his pills. If you still have an independent pharmacy in your area, please consider supporting them instead. For many drugs they're cheaper than the big chains in the first place, but they'll often price match too. Discount cards like GoodRx save you money but charge the pharmacy a fee on every claim. Needy Meds is another good resource. This site fucking rules. Get new dancehall directly from Kingston, Jamaica. Find out what darkwave is current in Berlin. What is folk music in Lapland? Now you know. Miss Home, wherever it is, you can hear your favorite radio host. Earworms from commercials you grew up with. Music that makes you feel like a kid again. I fucking love this website. It's everything the internet should be. Wordle. It is, hands down, the best online thesaurus ever. You can search synonyms and antonyms, and it includes slang, explicit language, and multi-word phrases, all of which are typically excluded in other thesauruses I've used. This feature lets you find both more specific/academic/professional words and more general/slang/colloquial words. It's saved my sanity in term papers and texts alike. When you search a word or phrase, you get a page that breaks down synonyms by meaning and part of speech. Check out this page for live, with 11 verb usages, 13 adjective usages, and 3 adverb usages. Bonus, I actually ended up using Wordle while writing this comment. If you're a student or are really trying to stay focused at work, there's an app called The Forest. Stay focused. I could be wrong, but it's definitely The Forest. It's a free app that's available as an extension on Google Chrome or the Apple App Store. Basically, you plant a tree, set a time limit, and you can only go on the sites that you've added to the whitelist or your tree will die. It's designed to stop you from always being in social media while you're supposed to be studying or doing something productive. I prefer Stay Focused. Immediately blocks your access from any site. Edit. To clarify, you can set the blacklisted sites you want to block, and even a fixed period of time you have per day to browse those sites. edX. It's completely free online courses, usually 2 6 weeks per course, taught by professors from top-notch universities from all over the world. Harvard, MIT, Stanford, Oxford. It's just like taking classes from a university, with assignments, lectures to watch, etc., and the courses are varied and interesting. Another online use people don't think about is libraries. Go to your local library, get a card, and you get a huge selection of books right on your phone, Kindle, laptop, etc. You check out the books online and you get them on your device for 3 weeks usually. The book then deletes itself, but you can check the book back out if need be. It's completely free. Edit. Here's the edX link. And did you know, if you want a credit for a course that you have taken on edX but the price is too high, usually $200 per credit, just send them a letter to explain for your financial problem. 99% of the time they will grant you support for 90% of the cost for every credit. I took 5 damn quality credits for supply chain management from MIT, yes MIT, and only paid around $100. Super stoned my friends. All my friends are enjoying this better than any course we have in university. I took a microeconomics course in it, and I gotta tell you all, what would have been a 2-semester course took me 3 months to learn. I 100% recommend it. Mostly 3 6-minute videos covering a topic. You can speed it up or slow it down, discussion forums, notes, questions, and you can get a certificate for certain things. Great if you have 30 minutes to burn a day. Some libraries also provide access to services that offer movies and films as well as books, like Hoopla or Canopy. with your library card. Plus there are other databases you could have access to like Ancestry.com and tons more on any topic you can think of. It depends on your library though, because these databases and online resources are quite pricey, so if the library's budget is being cut, the online resources are usually the first to go. Also, since the pandemic, libraries are starting to focus more on virtual programming like story times, craft tutorials, STEM activities, online escape rooms, murder mysteries and so much more, all being offered for free. So definitely check out the resources your local library offers. A fun thing to just check out is the first ever website. Something else that's really cool is the Library of Babel, which essentially contains every possible string of letters, periods, and commas. At first glance it seems a bit uninteresting, until you realize every story, text message, word, thought, the names of every person who ever lived, the names of every person who didn't live, the secrets behind the creation of our universe, are technically within the many volumes of the library. You can search anything you want in the library and it'll find it for you. It's honestly quite mind-blowing. I use this for boot camp on my MacBook for occasional games and such, and people should know that there's a couple strings attached. One is that you can't change the desktop background. Who cares? The other is there's a watermark on the corner of the screen that says this copy of Windows needs to be activated, or something like that. Slightly annoying but not a big deal. Also, if you do this, be sure to pick the Pro edition of Windows when you install, assuming you're not going to pay for it, since you get some nice utilities that way, like remote desktop service. Not really take advantage of, but there's tons of free apps to learn at least a little sign language. I'm like 70% deaf, on top of auditory processing disorder that probably stems from my autism, and I'd really love to meet a stranger that signs. It's only ever happened once, when some random little kid translated for me at Starbucks. The site lifeprint.com has awesome lessons. My sister and I are learning together BC. She has an autoimmune disease that's causing hearing loss, and I am sometimes mute due to a complex condition called speech apraxia. Completely free lessons there, but you have to be willing to put the work in. Free language immersion programs. I'm not just talking about Duolingo. Tandem and HelloTalk are free language exchange apps. You put in the language you're learning and it connects you with native speakers that want to learn your native language. I've heard of people having problems with speakers using it as a dating app, but I've never had that happen myself. There are language immersion Discord servers for nearly any language you want to learn. You can usually just Google it and find one somewhere. Subreddits for languages oftentimes have their own Discord servers. Google Chrome has several extensions that will translate phrases for you, teach you new words, etc. without any extra effort. You're practically learning a language every time you use the internet. Edit, Gloss, Kipsis, and Langulearn are good ones. If there's a popular public domain book in English, chances are it's been translated and is in public domain in other languages. Usually when learning a language, I'll try to be able to read The Little Prince by the end of my first year of learning, which isn't public domain everywhere but is still easy to find, never too expensive, and usually easy to read. For parents, CommonSenseMedia.org lays out new movies and apps and other pop culture items and discuss them and the age appropriateness in case the parent is unaware of what something is. There's also classes about how teens and kids can learn to responsibly use the internet. Seems dumb but I try to plug it any chance I get. I have pretty bad anxiety and PTSD. There is some movie, TV content that I've learned just isn't good for my mental health. I use that site all the time to get the sense of whether a movie or TV show is something I want to spend time watching. Another helpful site is doaesthetically.com, which breaks content down even further. Surprised I haven't seen these. Project Liber is free project management software. The website describes it as like Google Docs but for Ms. Project. Lucidchart is free web-based diagramming software, prettier than Visio. The free version is sufficient for most projects, but they also have a paid version that offers more robust functionality. OpenOffice has become a bit redundant since Google stepped up their game with Docs and Sheets, but still a decent alternative to Word and Excel if you want a more traditional desktop solution. Google Voice is nice for a free alternate phone number. Lastly, a little more niche of comment, but Salesforce provides their full enterprise CRM to nonprofits for free, up to 10 accounts. Torrenting. I must have missed a memo because in the 2000s/2010s it was pretty common practice, but now everyone thinks it's like downloading a car. If you're poor and can't afford digital media, just fucking torrent instead of depriving yourself. Your taxes go towards libraries that likely have whatever digital media you're looking for. So if you can't be bothered to get the library card, then just torrent the shit you want. Makes zero sense to shame a person for torrenting a book or TV show if their local library could give it to them for free anyway. Methinks the rise of propaganda is largely behind the anti-torrenting sentiment so common these days. Very convenient now that Netflix, Spotify, Apple Music and all the other streaming services have become the norm. Fuck those companies. All of them. Same with textbook companies. I hope LibGen bankrupts any textbook company. Reddit should be ashamed for banning any subreddit that promotes torrenting. This place was so pro-torrenting in the early 2010s and it was awesome. The golden age of the internet has died and the Wild West is long gone, it seems. Makes me sad. It collects the data on what you buy and what you search for in your browser, then sells that data to third parties in order to make money. It needs the money to keep improving the system so you can have a good experience with it in order to tempt you to keep it. By doing that it collects more data so make even more money, and this time they will keep a portion, if not all the money, because it's money. People want to be paid for their work. TL Doctorate collects your search data in order to sell it to make money. If you live in the United States, you can try this website to find people's contact information for free. https://www.searchpeoplyfree.com/ Sometimes it's not completely accurate, old address shown as current or old phone number, but for some, it's completely accurate. It told me my mother's address and phone number. I scrolled all the way from the top of this thread, checking things out here and there along the way. Then this one caught my eye. I just used this to search for a dear old friend and roommate that I lost track of years ago. I found what seemed like a strong possible match, but couldn't be sure. Then I noticed the record listed he died in 2009, so I searched for an obituary. It's him, no question. I'm stunned and devastated. I always expected we'd reconnect someday and reminisce happily about our youth. Sadly, that day won't come. He was a good guy. I miss him very much. I'm at least glad I know the truth. Thanks for sharing this. Hopefully I'll find other friends with it. For music lovers, Last.fm is a great resource to sign up for. I've been a member since 2006. It tracks all your listening through their scrolling system, which now can be accessed straight through Spotify. As you listen, it not only builds a library of all you listen to, it makes recommendations based on your current trends. If you're the kind of person who really enjoys stats, it's a must-have. Daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly listening statistics for everyone, all for free. You can get a premium membership, but I don't know what all it unlocks. I've always been completely satisfied with the free membership. 14 years strong. On Shape. Sorry, on mobile, and honestly not sure how to link it, but it's a great 3D modeling software created by previous workers at SolidWorks, so they really knew what they were making. You can pay for private storage since everything you model will technically be able to be searched and saved privately for others to use. They won't mess up your original, no worries. Mobile friendly too. Fun to mess around in. Soapgate.org is a link to a website that lets you watch just about any movie in existence. Their old domain got taken down, but with Soapgate you have to choose one of 4 server options. Makes no difference, and the website specifically uses harmless advertisements that don't break anything. It's just a few new tabs or pop-ups at the beginning of the movie, showing you're good. It does need 2 Chrome extensions, but Chrome Store doesn't allow viruses to be downloaded. this amazing free podcast over important literature and history. https://literatureandhistory.com/ It is far from finished yet, but it covers so much of ancient literature I never knew influenced our modern-day society. It feels like a very high-quality production even though it is just a guy in his own house. Everything of importance is completely free and every podcast has a written transcript and quiz on the website. The only paid content is some in-depth bonus episodes, and the writer barely mentions the paid content in the podcast and only talks about it when a section of in-depth paid content could fit into the podcast series. If you're listening to them in order and want more information about a particular topic, the site also links to books available on Amazon that the guy running it is using as sources for the podcasts. A free college degree accredited by DEC, recognized by the U.S. Department of Education. The University of the People offers associate's, bachelor's, and master's degrees in computer science, business administration, and health science. They do charge a $120 assessment for every course, which would total $4,000 for the entire bachelor's degree. They offer scholarships in case you can't afford the assessment fees. Language learning. So many people believe that taking classes or courses are the only way to learn a language, but the truth is most people end up getting almost nothing out of them. However, if you immerse yourself in media of your target language for a few hours of active listening every day, your brain will start to naturally decode the patterns and parse the sounds, and your comprehension will improve to almost 100% just by listening alone for many months. After you get enough input, listening, and understand enough, you will be able to naturally speak, without much of an issue. Many people online say how they learned English just by watching YouTube videos in native English media for a couple of years. Remove subtitles, jump in raw, have faith in the process, and don't give up. I've been doing it with Japanese for a few months and I already understand so much by listening alone. I believe it takes around 10,000 hours of listening for an English speaker to acquire an Asian language to proficiency. If you're interested, check out the Ajit Mia method. I'm currently using it, for a more organized and quicker plan that implements media immersion to reaching fluency. I actually have something to contribute. This resource is only free until the end of July, but it is a website where you can complete general education style credits completely free. It is test-based and most classes can be completed with 4 hours if you work really hard. The website is sophia.org. Make sure your school accepts their credits first. This saved me about $3,000 and an entire semester of classes. Brave. Brave is a free and open-source web browser which comes with a built-in add-in tracker blocker. But unlike other browsers who claim to have a private mode, but only hides your history from others using your browser. However, Brave comes installed with Tor, which not only hides your history, it masks your location from the sites you visit by routing your browsing through several servers before it reaches your destination. These connections are encrypted to increase anonymity. I honestly haven't been able to use anything else after switching to Brave and DuckDuckGo. Important quick edit, guys. For people who care strictly about privacy and or are disturbed by Brave's past controversy, Tor is definitely a great alternative. Here is the download link. https://www.torproject.org/. I'm a music, jazz, performance major and my professor is fairly well regarded as an instructor of jazz saxophone. He has a YouTube channel with tons of great videos totally free, and several resources on his website free as well. It's not exactly equivalent to full lessons, but man, you could probably get better than I am off of that stuff alone. Not relevant to most people, but Sci-Hub. It's a database of some 80 million academic papers available completely for free. When I'm off campus, it's honestly easier for me to get the paper off Sci-Hub than manually log in and search for it from my university's library page. It even formats the name properly so it's easier to find once I download the PDF. The owner, founder of the site, Alexandra Elbakian, is a gem of a human being. StreetMattress.com. It's a website dedicated to showing off mattresses that are near the street. It's primo content, from like 2001, and a total blast from the Wild West internet days when people were just goofing and having fun. Not gonna lie, I was a regular per user and content uploader in my younger years, and now I go every once in a while to remember the good times. Smile. In all seriousness, ASL University is an amazing free resource for anyone wanting to learn American Sign Language, which in my opinion every American should know at least the basics of. Since signing is a visual language, it's much better to learn on video than from a book. And I like the freedom of having pre-filmed information so that I can take it at my own pace. Edit, spelling.